Willkommen zurück. Zu The Outer Worlds. So, zack. Haben wir alles nachgeladen?
I've kept myself busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me. Human test subjects. Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect out of the board.
Die Tester mussten dafür draufgehen. Ich habe alle Chemikalien mitgebracht.
Thank you. You've brought me enough chemicals to get started, at least. I'm just sorry they came at the cost of human lives. Those poor people, they must have died in agony. What exactly was the board trying to accomplish? You say the board's trying to freeze their subjects over and over again without inflicting permanent damage? Well, they're nowhere close to solving that problem. Something about this feels wrong. I don't know why the board would ever conduct such an experiment, unless they're working on some kind of hibernation technology. I'll tell you this much. The board scientists are hopelessly lost. After years of fruitless experimentation, they've made exactly zero progress.
Okay, die Kolonie steht komplett. Der Vorstand will alles vertuschen.
I know.
Okay.
I've suspected as much for years. Of course, I don't expect the board to do a thing about it. They've been driving our colony to the brink of destruction for decades. The board's mismanagement put our colony on the road to collapse. If we don't put a stop to them, thousands of colonists are going to die.
Okay, ja.
Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse? And the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save himself? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room in their hibernation chambers.
Wir müssen das einverlassen und was dagegen tun.
Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest minds Earth ever sent us, uncorrupted by the board. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we speak. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope.
Okay.
Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius!
Ja, ich weiß.
We bring the Hope to us, skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
I don't know much about skip drives, not the physics anyhow. I do know the Hope's real massive. How's our bitty little ship supposed to skip it?
Excellent question, my sharp-witted mechanic. You will use your own ship to power up the Hope's skip drive. Your navigational computer can handle the rest. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope's skip drive. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately.
Ist klar.
I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers. Scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it. Certainly. How can I help? Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule. The board might notice, possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors.
Alles klar. Gut. Könnte man noch Schönes machen. Jo, alles klar. Gut. Ich glaube, wir fliegen erstmal zur Groundbreaker, geben noch ein paar Nebenmissionen ab. Oh. Gut.
Captain, I hope.
Ja, juckt mich erstmal nicht. So. Tragischer Trooper. Wo ist das?
Dr. Wells has not dragged you into one of his irrational schemes again. My diagnosis of his mental stability is... Welcome back, Captain. How can I be... See you soon.
Gut. Können wir jetzt mal zu Groundbreaker fliegen.
The Groundbreaker has approved our
Gut, dann können wir nämlich das hier abgeben.
request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Falls wir uns den Weg freikämpfen müssen. Leises, da ist es Kite Rises. Laufen.
You see we had a conveyor pull in?
Meine Herren, geht es ein bisschen schneller.
Rizzo's knock you out for.
Ja, 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 ja.
Sublight, huh? Always pictured this being more grandiose.
Na, dann komm.
Looks more like your standard business.
You reckon we can shop here, or is it all spoke for?
So.
That gas is going to make us a fucking mint. 120-some cubic meters of it, at 1,000,000 bits a pop. Take this. You've earned it. When we get buyers lined up, I'm gonna buy a gold toilet to shit in.
Klar, viel Glück
Monarch
damit.
isn't exactly a walk down the lanes of Byzantium. But here you are with all your limbs attached. Call me impressed, contractor.
Okay.
No one you saw, anyway. Glad to see you're looking out for yourself. You've been keeping busy. I hear you took on some extra work at Fallbrook. Catherine says, hey, when you were at the slaughterhouse, those swine didn't give you any strange looks, did they? I knew it. I'm probably getting worked up over nothing. Just try not to think about pigs. You never know, you know?
Klar. Alles okay.
I've got a lot on my mind, but it's nothing that concerns you. At least, not yet. I have another job lined up, assuming you're still interested in work. You're gonna salvage me a space station. Heliospheric Research Station 1084, to be exact. I want it. Cobwebs and all. Interested?
How big we talking? Not like groundbreaker big, right?
This opportunity won't come around again, Captain.
Und habe ich kein
Suit
Interesse.
yourself. I hate to leave money on the table, so let me know when you're ready for the job.
Gut. Gut. Gut, das Tagebuch ist aber abgegeben. Dialog zwischen Toten. Der Hinweis bei Gorgonenminen, okay. Suche den Außenposten. Ja, geh mal dahin. Dann durchsuchen wir den Außenposten.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Na dann komm. Da irgendwie schnell reisen? Gehen wir dahin. Wollen so weit latschen. Was haben wir denn noch hier? Nehmen wir dich. Mülleimer ist leer. Dr. Kittel. Freu nicht. Und gucken wir uns mal den Außenposten an. Expansionsaußenposten. Na komm. Ja, also ein bisschen heilen.
Hey. Huh. Rebecca taught me this once. You can jerry-rig these old locks so as they don't open anymore. But we've only ever done that if we're in a real bind. Here, I'll fix it. Oh no. Oh no. What is... I don't...
Ist klar.
They were... That
Alle
bitch!
tot.
They were all sent to abandon us! What would Clara say, huh? Every day she'd ask if we heard from you. And she'd have forgiven you! The kid had a soul that made the sulfur smell like roses! Ugh. Hard to leave your medallions to rot with you, but Clara would want to be buried with her sister. At least I know. Ought to have learned by now that getting one's hopes up tends to open them to being dashed across the stars. I hate to say this, but Clara died thinking her sister was still fighting to get back home. I'm glad. If she were still alive now, it'd break her to know the truth.
Alles klar.
Yeah, maybe. I'm used to disappointment. She was still so naive as to let it hurt her every time it happened. Only thing left is to take these medallions home, which means figuring out how to bait the Mana Queen out of our old base. The most pissed off I've ever seen a queen was when a foreign species was on her soil. I'd wager the stench of a primal might do the trick. Not unless you happen to be familiar with the ins and outs of Mana Queen behavioral patterns. I've never had the pleasure of hunting primals, but I hear they're all over Scylla. Let's tear a few apart, shall we? I'm sure they've got pheromones. Everything does.
Alles klar. Und du? Dingsdüsen. Du musst jetzt diese Fliegeviecher hier abschießen, oder? Jetzt schon welche? Hormondrüsen der stinkenden Trollocs. Alles klar. Und wo finde ich die? Ja, erstmal schön quer durch die Welt reisen, ne?
Destination reached. Scylla.
Trollocs. Irgendwo schnell hinreisen? Natürlich nicht. Da ist ein Trolloc. Da brauchen wir schwerere Geschütze. Na komm. Einfache Schutzausrüstung. Trolloc. Hallo. Der ist hin, der ist hin.
Don't mess with us.
Gut. Ganz viele von diesen Viechern. Na komm. Wird ja überhaupt kein Thema. Hallo. Na komm. Wer schießt?
And that explains how we ain't dead. Without the pylons, all the O2 this thing's cracking from the ice would just drift off.
Ja.
Ought to leave well enough alone.
Irgendwer, der hier aufs Maul will. komm. Na komm schon. Ist ja gut. Mann. Nehmen wir erstmal alles mit. Na komm. Komm. Na komm schon. Weg.
Everyone all right?
Und nu?
That queen ain't gonna go down easy. I can't wait. What's up?
Du sind ja wirklich. Nimm du sie bitte.
Outstanding. These ought to be enough. Let's get back to Monarch. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. We'll set the bait there. Password to the door is Charon.
Alles klar. Monarch wird gar nicht mehr ganz so einfach. Haben wir ja ein bisschen gewütet. Sonst noch kennen?
We are now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
Nehmen wir also alle mit. Region. Wo müssen wir denn hin? Dahin. Ah, noch ein paar Viecher schnitzeln. Da müssen wir hin. Fast gar kein Schaden, das Vieh. Na komm. Dann halt über die Masse. Was haben wir denn hier? Keine Köpfe. Karen. Alles klar. So, was gibt's denn hier Feines? Ja, genug davon. Mitgenommen. Eine Dinosaurierflinte dabei. Gehen wir erstmal nach hier. Was haben wir denn da? Hier kriegt er schon wieder einiges Gewürm rum. wo das denn ist. Ja, war ja kein Problem.
Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in here in a rage and exterminate all these bugs and everything would be all right in the end. But I ain't. I'm mostly just empty. A little sad, maybe. The first night Hayes and I spent in here, we knew it was home. It's safe. It's got a nice chill to it. But mostly, it doesn't stink of sulfur.
Okay.
Monarch folks often joke about it. Not because of the smell or the grittiness it leaves in your throat. Not because of the headaches or the coughing. It's because there's no escaping it. It's life here, and there ain't anything you can do about it. But here, somehow the sulfur never made it. The nights we spent in here felt like vacations. So we started building.
Alles klar.
We hauled in steel, hired sublight folk to help. That's how we met Anders and Opal. They stuck around after our contract was up. Opal liked camping. Anders liked chasing her tail. 4 of us for a while, scraping together what bits we could to build our home. Then came Rebecca, a sawbones out of the Cascadia survivors, who took a kindness to Hayes. And Clara, her little sister. I'll admit I wasn't keen on taking her on at first, but for a teenager, she was surprisingly capable.
Klar.
She had a head for numbers, helped us trade hides for food and materials, negotiated contracts. Turned out to be mighty useful.
Oh, ja.
Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me. 6 folks, 1 name.
Alles klar. Na komm. 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 Oh, das ist Vieh. Endlich mal ein schwerer Gegner. Gut.
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. This bringing them together, burying them. This is the kind of thing Hayes would have done. That makes it stupid. By all accounts, we should have left well enough alone, but that also makes it right. Captain, thank you.
Alles klar, gern geschehen.
You mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to bury Opal and Clara proper before I lay everyone's medallions to rest.
Gut. Alles klar. Zeug plündern. Stimmt ja, die haben jetzt noch Vorteil, wa? Tagebuch. Geschlossen. Alles klar. Ein gut gehütetes Geheimnis. Reise zu hoch. Gibt's hier noch irgendwas? Hier. Hervorragend. Ja, Landeplatz, da möchte ich hin. Danke. Facial Mascara. Skincare. Schön unser Schiff. Ach, da oben. sind Feinde in der Nähe. Wo sind denn Feinde in der Nähe? Aha. Jetzt reisen. Stella Bay. Dann reisen wir halt dahin. Beziehungsweise die Ruinen von Stella Bay. Wir müssen da rein. War of Worlds. Da oben müssen wir rennen. Gut. Na den. Ach, hier. Da ist die Unreliable. Okay. Gut, dann reisen wir jetzt zur Hope. Einmal Hope, bitte, danke.
We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive.
Alles klar. Einmal Charakter. Fähigkeiten. 80. Gut. Dann brauchen wir jeweils 4 Punkte haben wir noch. Alles klar. Ein Vorteil. Ist ja noch Feines. Nehmen. Sam. Annehmen. Noch ein Punkt. So Leute, wir sehen uns bei der nächsten Folge. Ciao.